Hello, everybody.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah.
Here we are for another Sunday Fun Day adventure at Film Trigger doing the news, the breakdown of the past top entertainment news stories. If there's some news stories that we don't tap on and you're curious of thoughts, please let us know in the comments below if we missed something, and we'll be sure to tap on it as well. But as usual, we have the usual suspects here, Mr. Ramon from Hit or Miss TV. How you doing, buddy?
I'm very well, thank you, sir. Very well.
Good. And then the man behind the curtain, Seth Draven.
Hello.
Hey, son.
The invisible boy.
No camera once again, but hopefully I can get that fixed sometime within the next few weeks.
Yeah, I told you I was probably gonna send a webcam over to you or something.
Do you know what I think it is? I think he's a bit like that Escobar guy. Like, you don't want to show like where he is. I bet he's like in a place and there's like a big glass screen with a swimming pool behind him with loads of people.
What color are the skies in your world, Ramon?
I don't know, man. Well, no, you can see with the lights. Like, I live in a bit of a dream world. Yeah, sorry.
Aaron White, what's up, buddy?
What's
How you
up,
doing,
Aaron?
man?
Hope you're good, man.
All right. Well, I hope your guys' week has been well. I've done pretty good. I'm on that 4-day schedule at work now, and
That's
feels
cool.
good. Feels good to have more time to relax. I guess we could just jump right in here. I don't have too much to talk about, but I think we'll probably go down a few rabbit holes with what we're going to talk about here. Number one, the Batman spin-off series Penguin in early development at HBO Max. So this will star Colin Farrell as the Penguin on HBO Max. So what I've noticed here, because there's also going to be sort of a, I don't know, Seth, maybe you can help me out if it's supposed to be a prequel or something with Commissioner Gordon from the Batman also on HBO Max.
Gotham PD, I believe that's what the show's supposed to be called. That's supposed to take place during, I think, year one of Batman being Batman. More when people think he's he's like still like a mystery. Like people don't know if he exists or not, type of thing. So
gotcha. I like that aspect. That's really cool. So
I do too.
I wonder if this Penguin series is going to be in the same continuity as that. You know, it'd be weird to have a continuing like universe, but all in different timelines. That'd be kind of strange, wouldn't it?
Yeah. If I had to guess, I do think this will take place after the movie, the Penguin series, because, you know, if you read into it a little bit, it's talking about how it's Oswald Cobblepot, that's his name, right? Oswald's rise to becoming the Penguin is what the show is about. And Matt Reeves has talked about the movie before, and he's talked about like how none of these characters are really like at their full potential yet. Oswald is not the Penguin yet. You know, Selena Kyle is not Catwoman yet. You know, like,
gotcha.
They're still like rising up to that power. So I think this show will take place after the movie and show us the rise of the Penguin.
Okay. All right. I get it. What do you think about this, Ramon? What do you think about them cherry picking characters from the Batman, a movie that hasn't actually released yet?
I think it's a cool idea, but I mean, when you're saying about Penguin, the rise of Penguin, it kind of, to me, you see that in Gotham, did we not? I mean, that's
right.
Yeah.
I know it's a different. I know we're in a different place and everything. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited. I think it'll be cool. I think
I'm right there with you. I agree with you 100%. It's when they first announced the Gotham PD, it's like, oh, you mean like Gotham the TV show, but more serious. Like they're just kind of, you know, putting different skin on top of the same thing.
Because I thought the guy who played the Penguin, I think he was one of the best things in the Gotham show. I thought he was just bonkers. I thought he was crazy.
Yeah. And the guy that played the Riddler too. I really enjoyed him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When that first came out, Gotham, I was a bit sort of like that. Penguin, I thought he just really stood out. He was way out there. And like you say, Riddler as well. So it's a bit of a strange one to sort of go down that same path again. But if it's definitely going to be that same cast of like Colin Farrell and stuff like that, then I think it'll be even darker than what Gotham was. I think it'll be a more mature version of that, you know. But
Yeah, absolutely. I just hope they're not putting too many eggs in one basket here,
Yeah.
considering, and what if the Batman comes out and it's an absolute flop, and then you have all these things in pre-production or in production, I don't know.
They
I'm
could,
curious. I'm curious about it. Like, I'm happy to see that they're going to do a more serious series with, an A-list actors. But
yeah.
again, I worry about continuity. If Gotham PD is supposed to be happening in year one, well, then how many seasons are you going to have? Because the movie is supposed to take place in year two. Like, is it just going to be a one and done thing? I don't know. See, Aaron White says, did you all like Gotham? I got stuck in season 2 and haven't revisited.
How many seasons was it? I think I was probably about 3, maybe 4. It happened when I don't know if you guys have both seen it, but they introduced the guy who was like an assassin, the bald guy with the suit. I forgot his name. I really liked
Is
him.
that was that
Forgot his name now.
it begins with a
I'm
Z.
not sure.
Yeah, that guy. I think I got to it when and Jada Pinkett was in it. It was around that time, and I kind of
Yeah.
fish. I think I kind of lost the. I thought it started off excellent. I loved the first couple of seasons, but again, it did lose its magic. I suppose it kind of.
It definitely lost its luster. Seth and I fell off around season 3, I think. It was good for what it was, and then it just went the Batman and Robin route. It just got too freaking hokey for me, and
Yeah.
I just kind of lost interest in it.
Do you know something about that show that's always got on my nerves? It's not in a bad way, I know, because there's going to be massive fans of it, but there's something in the show that always bothered me. I wish the guy who was Jim Gordon's mate, the dude with the beard, I wish he was Jim Gordon, and Jim Gordon was the sidekick guy, because the guy with the beard, I just thought he was more rugged and he was more ruthless, and I just really liked him as an actor. I forgot his name now, but
I forget the actor's name, but he played Harvey. What's his name, Seth? Harvey
Bullock, I think.
Bullock.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, did you know another thing about him? He was in Blade, the first Blade movie.
Yeah, he was.
Do you remember? Yeah, in the bloodbath bit, and he's one of the first vampires. Yeah, I've always liked him as an actor, and when he sort of turned up in Gotham, I was like, oh, I hope he's Jim Gordon, and he weren't. But that was really me being picky.
Well, fun fact about Gotham. I don't know if Aaron White knows this, but the guy that played the Riddler, him and I went to the same high school, which also means he went to the same high school as Durbin from the channel Durbania as well. Little
That's
fun
crazy.
Fact. Yeah. Actually, Chris Durbin's sister actually went to school with him because he was younger than Chris and I, so we didn't actually intertwine together. He was, after we already graduated, but. Yeah, it's a little fun fact.
Good for him. I wish that guy all the best anyways, who played the Riddler, because again, there's certain actors in those shows that sort of stand out, and you kind of hope to see them in more bigger roles, prominent roles. Because again, like he's such a. When the Riddler first came into Gotham, I was like, oh, not the Riddler again, but he was just amazing. I thought he was so good in it.
Oh yes, there's the actor's name.
Donald.
Yeah. How do you pronounce that? Logue?
I'd say Logue. I would say, yeah. Really, really good.
Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, Seth.
I was gonna say one last thing about this Penguin show. What it shows me that WB is confident in the movie. It was like the same thing with the Suicide Squad. They greenlit the Peacemaker TV show before the Suicide Squad even had. They greenlit it before even a trailer was out, I think.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
So, and we already know that James Gunn is doing more stuff with them. And even though the Suicide Squad did flop at the box office, people love the movie. And I think to WB at least, that's what's important to them right now. They're aware that just because this movie flopped, that means people hate it. No, that's not what their mindset is right now. They're aware we're still in a pandemic. So if people like the movies a lot, then they're going to give us more stuff with them. And I think it's the same with the Batman.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That there is definitely some major hype for the Batman. We're all very curious to see what this story is going to be. Again, I just hope, and I'm sure they will. I mean, I don't have very much faith in Warner Brothers, but I have enough to hope that they do keep it in a sensible continuity with each other. So it makes sense, just like Disney Plus did with the MCU. Everything kind of makes sense, continuity speaking.
Mm.
So I hope
Yeah,
they
I think
stick
they'll
with
do
that.
that.
All right. Well, here's something that we never asked for, but damn it, we're gonna get it for sure. Here you go. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, director Evan Reitman are doing the sequel to the movie Twins with Tracy Morgan. It was originally supposed to be Eddie Murphy, but Eddie Murphy just scheduling conflict couldn't do it, so they got
That's
Tracy
definitely
Morgan?
a weird one. That's definitely a weird. That's a weird one. I mean, I went to see the original when I was, a kid at school, but that's a strange one.
Yeah, and I know Seth. I know you probably don't know anything about this at all. Because I was well, Twins was a very successful movie when it came out. It was just a lot of fun. It was a fun, heartfelt film. It really doesn't need. It really doesn't need another one. It doesn't need a sequel to it. But even though we're getting a sequel to it, Tracy Morgan. Why Tracy Morgan? I mean, I would have accepted Kevin Hart over Tracy Morgan.
It's a strange. I don't know. I don't really know what to say. That's a very strange. Of all the movies, of all the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, you think he's made some. I know it was a successful movie, but he's done some amazing films over the years, and I think. Right, let's go through all of them. Twins, that's the one we'll do.
Right,
bit.
They've already tried Terminator like 4 times, so why not move to another franchise?
Yeah, that's true.
At least they didn't do that one where he gave birth. Do you guys remember that?
That was
what is that? I've never heard about this.
Yeah, he was pregnant in a movie.
It's not Super Nanny. It's like that's Hulk Hogan, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
It's basically he gets pregnant. Basically, it's so strange. They both went through this stage though, him and Stallone, because Stallone went and done Stop on My Mumble Shoot. Do you remember that?
Say that again, Ramon.
Stallone at the same time was going through this stage and making comedy kind of movies. And
Stop
on my Mumble Shoot with Estelle Getty. Do you know what?
Yep.
I've got that on DVD.
Oh my god,
I love that movie. It's so bad.
I honestly wouldn't mind watching that. Just because Junior was the name of the movie.
That's it. That's
where he was pregnant.
Junior.
Yeah. So, Aaron White, of course. After I looked it up, I should have.
Junior.
I should always just ask Aaron first. He's always on top of it. But yeah, absolutely. I'm just a little confused by the decision with Tracy Morgan and the decision to continue with the sequel. I was actually really rooting for the potential of them remaking it with it was rumored like The Rock and Kevin Hart, or Jason Momoa and Kevin Hart, pretty much anybody and Kevin Hart. But okay, all right, well, here's the thing, it's there, we can't stop it.
It's a bit of a strange one, but I'll watch it because it's just, it'll be funny, it'll be those two, it'll be funny, but it's just a bit of a weird one. That,
well, you know what, who knows? It might be absolutely wonderful. The best movie. We'll be leaving the theaters with tears streaming down our face. We have no idea what to expect. Aaron White says Twins was great. One of my favorites. My dad and I like. That's awesome, man. Seth, have you seen Twins?
No, I've never seen Twins. And the weird part about that is, believe it or not, when I was like 7 years old, it was a movie that I really wanted to watch. Because I was like, oh, look, it's Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin. I was like, oh, look, it's the Penguin from Batman Returns. I was like, I want to watch this movie. Like, I knew it wasn't, the same characters, but I was like, hey, it's the actors. I want to watch this movie.
Yeah,
and then I just never did.
Yeah, I never put that together.
No, I've never either. That's a good one.
I just never got around to the movie. I've still 10 years later after I heard of the movie, and I've still never seen it. So
it's kind of funny now that I think about it. Twins is actually the first movie I ever caught a movie mistake, and I got obsessed with what. Yeah, because there's this one scene where they're in the bathroom, and they kind of just dry their hands and they kind of basketball shoot shoot it into the trash. And I just remember a bottle of beer sitting on top of the paper towel holder, and then he shoots it, and then the bottle of beer is gone. And I'm like, whoa,
mistake.
This is a mistake. It was like one of the first movie mistakes I ever noticed. So
I think I think I saw that at the cinema when I was younger. Whenever at the time, I don't know if like how you view Schwarzenegger, Seth, but like at the time when I was sort of your age, maybe a bit younger, he was kind of, I suppose, how The Rock is now. Like he was box office gold. Like him and Stallone were box office gold. Like literally any movie that came out, it's like, right, everyone's going to go and see that because it was like guaranteed. It was just guaranteed success.
Oh yeah, I mean,
when at that time he could do anything and it would just be, oh, everyone will go with Schwarzenegger.
Well, Last Action Hero is still one of my favorite movies,
bro.
Like,
I was just about to say the same thing, and that movie never done as well because I think it was a bit of a weird movie. It's a bit of a strange movie, getting like sucked into the movie and into the cinema screen, and then you're in the movie, and I think it just went over people's heads. I think that movie's brilliant. I think it's one of his, like, for me, it's one of his best. I just think it's so funny. It's so funny.
Yeah, it well, and it's just creative, and I love breaking down that fourth wall, and just a kid. I mean, when we were kids, I mean, obviously we love movies. So what dream would that be if we could just get a golden ticket and just go into the movie itself?
I think that's what it was. It was the fantasies that, for me, it's easy, bro. Never ending story, bro.
Oh, yes.
Because I want one of that big I want that big flying white dragon thing.
Falcor.
Yeah, Falcor. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I'd get Falcor, and I would save Artex, and I'll go have a conversation with the sleepy turtle thing.
That turtle was amazing. God. What about you? Which film would you pick? If you could go into any movie, and Seth, if you could pick any movie, you got a golden ticket, and someone goes, right, here it is. You walk into the movie theater, and then the screen opens, and you go into it.
I don't know. That's a good one. Seth, what would you choose?
I'd have to think about that one because off the top of my head, I'd probably pick some like really simple answer like Star Wars or something.
That would be awesome, though. You can't.
It would be, but I'd have to really think about that one. That would. I know, but I don't know. There's a lot of different ones that would be cool.
Right,
and we'll cut.
Sorry, Seth. Go ahead.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking up. Yeah.
Oh, am I?
Yeah. Uh-oh. I thought it was my end again, but Ramon's fine on my end, so it's just you.
Am I still breaking up? Am I still lagging?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit. The camera's lagging more than your audio is, but your audio is still like a little bit like breaking up.
Right. Well, Seth, Ramon, keep discussing that. I'm gonna dip out and kind of reboot back in. So yeah, I'll be right back, guys.
All right. So if you was to be in Star Wars, right, what character would you have been? Like if you're going in there and you go, right, as I walk into the screen, I'm going to be surrounded by these characters and be part of this group. Which group would it be? Would you have been going for with Darth Maul, the Sith, Obi-Wan? Who would you go with?
There's a lot of options there because you can be someone as simple as just a civilian. Or you could be like a Mandalorian, or like you said, a Jedi or a Sith. There's a lot of different ones that you could do. I don't know. Out of those three specifically, I know there's more that you can like really dive into, but out of those three specifically, probably a Mandalorian. If I could be anything in that universe.
And Mandalorian was a great show as well. Now you've just said that. That was a wonderful show. I think going into being with Star Wars, I would join the Sith and I would be working alongside Darth Maul because I think he's awesome.
He's cool.
Well, hopefully I'm coming in better. All I could really do is step out and step back in. So hopefully
that's good now.
All right, cool. I would choose a different movie depending on the day you ask me, but thinking about it, I would jump into The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Oh,
it's another good one.
Yeah,
that's an interesting one. What about Son of the Mask? Would you jump into that one?
Fuck no. I would jump into that one just to kick Jamie Kennedy in the nuts.
I went to see them. Do you know what? I went to see the Mask at the cinema as well, and I wasn't too sure I would like it. It was one of those where it's like, ugh. And I think it's one of Jim Carrey's best movies. I think it's just.
It's such a good one.
It's a unique, crazy. So was Ace Ventura as well, but like. The Mask, I just didn't know what to expect, and I just thought it's just such a good movie even now. It's just such a good film. And the second one, like you say, the second one, oh god,
it's so bad. It's so bad. The Mask was actually supposed to be a horror movie. It was because it was done by New Line Cinema, which owned the Freddy franchise, and they were looking for a new horror movie to do. And the Mask comic book is actually very horror-esque in its original intent, very bloody, very violent sort of thing. So they were going to make the Mask into a horror movie, and then it just traded hands, script got fluffed up, and they turned it into a comedy.
Do you know what? Thinking about that now, I've never read it, but the thought of that would be an amazing idea that you put on the mask because he doesn't remember. But when the person puts on the mask, they become a serial killer or a monster killer, and not know what they go and do, kind of thing. And they wake up in the morning like, I don't know what happened, like, and then they're reading the papers, like 25 people ripped apart, and it'd be like, oh my god, what happened there? And then realizing it's you that done it, like.
Oh, that's all. That's like Wolfman,
Yeah. That's what it is. It's basically that sort of the voyage home.
A fun adventure I'd like to join is Star Trek,
the voyage home. Yeah.
The voyage home. Captain Kirk is my captain. Yes, Captain Kirk is my captain too, buddy.
I'd go in with Wrath of Khan, man. I think that Wrath of Khan and The Empire Strikes Back, I think, are the best sci-fi movies ever. Oh my god.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back is really good. All right, so moving right along I'm just gonna get on with the news here. I don't know if this is news. I feel like we already knew this, but I'm just gonna bring it up anyway. Oh, I lost my screen. Hold on. There we go. Venom will meet Spider-Man on the big screen, but Andy Serkis won't rush it. I guess Andy Serkis he's now just the head of Venomverse. I thought he's just directing the movie.
Like he is.
Right. But basically he just says it's going to happen. Here it is. Here's his quote. Look, that's the question on everybody's lips. They want to know when Venom is going to meet Spider-Man, but personally, it's never going to happen. Ha ha ha. I'm joking, of course. It's going to happen, but I think there's so much. Look, it depends when you want to get there, and also what the appetite is. If people want more Venom stories, then to jump straight into Spider-Man, you could be missing out on so many great supervillain characters in between now and then. So, in a way, by rushing it, you might be closing the door. So, yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
but
I'd say just go for it. I think you've just got to go for it. Look, at the end of the day, the whole thing was Spider-Man and Venom in terms of a movie. We had Spider-Man 3, which was I still like it, but it wasn't great. And I think there's no need, to be honest with you, there's no need to build up a whole thing of making 6 movies with other different characters. People were going to go to Spider-Man movies anyway. I mean, you put Mysterio in a film, they're going to go. You can put it against Blimmin' Rhino. People will go if it's the right characters. People will just go anyway because it's Spider-Man. Yeah. But I would love to see a proper Tom Hardy's and Tom Holland in a film. That would be cool.
But would it be Tom Holland?
Yes.
Well, I think
it might not be.
I think
it would be Tom Holland. I think. I mean, there's all the rumors, of course, of Toby and Andrew coming back, and I think if people had to choose, people would probably go with Andrew. But Sony, we got this whole universe building. In the Morbius trailer, we have Michael Keaton's Vulture, and it's safe to assume that Morbius and Venom are connected to each other. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a photo posted the other day. It was just Tom Hardy and someone else. They were like celebrating Venom. Tom Hardy was wearing a hat. His hat was a Spider-Man No Way Home hat. It was like a crew hat. Like you get it if you work on the movie. And then they deleted the post and stuff.
I did see that. I'm gonna look up.
It might be one of those ones where it puts him in the post-credit scene and it's linked to the Venom. You know what I mean? They'll do something that's like, and then in a few years' time, like they first did with Tony Stark turning up in one. I can't remember what one it was now. He turned up in Spider-Man, wasn't it? No.
Iron Man. Wait, no. I know what you mean. Never mind.
He turned up at.
Yeah, no. Tony Stark was in.
It was the Hulk movie, and he came into. It'll be one of those like teasers at the very end, and I think it will.
Yeah, I mean, and Nick Fury was at the end of the first Iron Man, so like,
Yeah.
I thought that's what you meant at first.
I
So
think
that's
if
why I
they
said
do
Iron
something,
Man.
yeah, they do something like that. That's cool. I mean, because as I say, this movie's got enough as it is. You don't need like to throw in a big giant part with Venom because it's already
Right.
sold with Doctor Octopus and everyone else. You've already
I
got
don't know.
everyone in it.
I would like to see Tom Hardy's Venom kind of like size up the other Venom from Spider-Man 3. I like to see them kind of like look at each other.
Yeah, you could even do that now. Yeah, that's true.
So here's the picture Seth was talking about. Tom Hardy
Yeah.
wearing the Spider-Man No Way Home crew hat. So yeah,
And you know, it could mean nothing. You know,
Right.
maybe he just has the hat, but I don't know. Maybe because I
It's-
think
it
one of my
seems-
biggest doubts is that like this movie already has so much crammed into it. Even if the rumors aren't true, the movie has so much crammed into it. And if the rumors
Yeah.
are true, that's like twice as much stuff already crammed into this movie. And like I just don't see how they would fit in Venom.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
agree. It would have to be like a post-credit scene or something like that, or
Yeah.
Tom Hardy's just punking us all right now.
Or it could be the thing where they're saying with it being multiverse, it doesn't really have to be a lot. It could just be a thing like a tiny scene where he's going through multiverse and Venom comes out and it's all rah,
Yeah.
rah, rah, and then it's gone. And you're kind of like, oh, wow, it could, those sorts of things are fine, I think. But like you say, there's so much in this already.
Yeah.
You don't really want to take it away from like Dr. Octopus. You want him to be on screen as much as possible, and
Well,
Green Goblin and
it's funny you say that. Kind of like just jumping through different dimensions or whatever, different multiverses. In the trailer breakdown that I did of Spider-Man No Way Home, there's one where you can see the lizard, when they show the lizard from Spider-Man to the Amazing Spider-Man. If you break that down, you slow it down, it looks like he's swiping at Tom Holland's Peter Parker, but like there's like this invisible, barrier that stops him. It's kind of like maybe they're looking into another multiverse, but it's not quite interacting. And it made me curious as like, well, maybe that's where we're going to get a lot of these characters from. They're going to kind of be stuck in this bubble, if you will. Maybe that's what the box that Doctor Strange had, the box that's supposed to keep all the villains, locked in there. Maybe that has something to do with it. But you guys mentioned that, and just it made me pop in my head. Just like maybe we won't see these villains fully in action. Just some of them are going to be like
that's what I mean. I think it'll be teasing.
and that's maybe where Tom Holland might come in at, or Tom Hardy might come in at, something like that.
I don't know though, because like
it'd be like a slow down look, like they would look at each other. I could see Tom Hardy's character just looking at Spider-Man like, what the heck, and then it just disappears. That might be the cameo.
Yeah,
but all speculation.
At the moment, I don't see how Tom Hardy could be anything other than a post-credit scene, like just to link the two together, and purely for that reason. Because like, maybe things change in Venom too, but as far as I'm concerned, that version of Venom is at least not yet a villain. Like he saved the world in the first movie. Like,
you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna have like flipping 5 post-credit scenes, and the last one, it'll have Tom Holland sitting there and a hand on his shoulder in a pug or something. It'll be, hey, how you doing? And he'll look at it and go, Tony? And it will just end. Yeah, it's just what I mean. You can do anything. You can do anything, really. It's I'm looking forward to the Spider-Man. Like, jokes aside and everything, I can't wait to see that. I think that's one of the ones now. I'm after Halloween. Can't wait for James Bond because I love James Bond. But yeah, the Spider-Man as well is just going to be. I can't wait.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
But
Halloween's the next one. Halloween's the next one. Now I can't wait for that.
Yeah. I'm going to go see that in theaters opening day. That's going to be a good one.
Venom is out in less than 2 weeks, right? Like the movie's like a week and a half away now.
Sorry, I didn't realize. Yeah, of course. Well, there you go.
No, nobody realizes it. And we're all stuck in this pandemic way of thinking that movies just aren't going to come out anymore.
So when they do come out, we're just like, oh,
I think
wow.
Venom's out on the 15th as well. Sorry, so it's out the same day as Halloween.
Is it October 1st?
Oh yeah. They moved it up to October 1st. We discussed that last week. That's right.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's even better than that. No, because I was going to go and watch them both the same day. That's even better now. That gives me time
There you
to sort of
go.
spread it out and talk about it. Perfect.
Oh, sweet. All right, not to bring the mood down a little bit, but I did want to bring this up. Little rest in peace here. Norm Macdonald passed away this week from his battle with cancer that he's been quietly battling for 9 years, apparently. Now, Ramon, you're kind of telling me before we started the stream that you're a big, kind of cult fan of Norm
Big
Macdonald.
time.
And well, and I think you said, maybe he's not that big over in the UK, but you're a big fan of him. Over here, he's actually not that big either. Like, he's just known for what he did on Saturday Night Live and a few other, like, and his stand-up comedy and just his cameos every now and again, but like, so like over here, I mean, he is probably bigger than he is in the UK, but he's still kind of like just like a B, a B actor. Hold on, my computer's doing something weird.
I think I've always viewed him as a comedian's comedian, if that makes sense. Someone like, because he literally, I wouldn't say he didn't care, but he really didn't. If he thought something was funny, there was no boundary. So I won't even like mention half the stuff he said, because you know what he was like. But
Oh yeah,
that's why I found him so funny. And it's like I don't know if I said it on here or on Matthew Haynes' channel. Like the majority of stand-up comedians I've loved since I was a kid have been like black comedians, like Richard Pryor and Bernie Mac, because it's so. I don't know what the right word is. It's so raw, I think, but like Eddie Murphy, raw and delirious. It's so across the barrier of acceptable. You cannot say this, and that's what I find funny. And Norm was brutal. Like, I just remember listening to him when I was younger, and like, just like my jaw would hit the ground. I'm like, there's no way he just said that, and I would burst out laughing, but a bit out of fear of what he'd said. But it's the sort of thing I've just always found funny, and it's a shame. Like 61 is so young. Like,
it is very young. I like you. I love his dry humor. His weekend update on Saturday Night Live. Like, he's my favorite host of that. It's just, and he also has like my favorite line in the movie Billy Madison. Where he's just sitting there, a scene that's completely unnecessary. It doesn't need to be in there. It's just in there because fuck it. Where Norm Macdonald and the other guys like laying by Billy's pool, and Norm's just like, hey Billy. And the other guy goes, "What? Billy's in school." Oh yeah. And like, that's the entire scene. And it's just to me, it's just perfect.
That's what I think that's what makes him so funny, is because it's totally, like you say, it's a lot of it is totally either out of place of where it's meant to be with his comedy, or he does something that's so, I don't know, that will get so much blowback, but he just doesn't care because he smiles and laughs. He had that way about him. Like, he'll say something that everyone is thinking, but oh no, you can't say that. But he would just go and say it, and I don't care. And comedy has lost that. Like, not just because of him, just in general, the way things are now, you don't have comedians like him. And I think it's a shame, because comedy is meant to just be escapism and fun, and that's to me why he was so great.
Well, did you notice that there's a new show on Netflix? The Norm Macdonald has a talk show.
Oh right, okay. I watched a lot of his like YouTube stuff, like recorded stuff. I've watched everything, to be honest.
Yeah, this is on Netflix. I just saw it last night.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'll tell you what, man. I watched it. Whew. It wasn't great. It was
really?
like I watched 3 episodes, and I like the third one in. I'm like, okay, I really gave this a shot. It just, sorry, Norm Macdonald, I'm not trying to trash on you.
Yeah.
Trying to think of the positive things, but that show on Netflix, it was almost like I was watching a different version of Norm Macdonald. Like, I wasn't watching the guy I knew growing up.
Yeah.
And he's always had like a very mumbly way that he was talking.
Yeah.
But in this one, like, you almost couldn't understand some of the words he was saying. It was so hard to listen to. But I watched it anyway. It was just because Norm Macdonald.
It's one of my favorite things he said. I won't get too like rude on it, but it was one thing that he done about Bill Cosby, and this was like just as all of this stuff came out. And I remember like there was this stand up where he said, he goes, "Oh yeah, let's talk about Bill Cosby," and everyone's like, "Ooh." He goes, "Oh no." He goes, "I don't like his stand up." I just always wanted to be like him as a man. And I'm like, dude, what did you just like? You can't say that. Like, people were going to have a meltdown, but then he would go like deeper into it and deeper into it. And he would just dig. It's like he would dig himself a deeper and deeper hole of trouble. And like, that's what I found so funny about him, because there's no one else has got the guts to do that now. Because you do something like that, even one joke, even if I put like a bad joke on here now live, that's going to affect my channel. And it's like, right, scrap that channel. It's like, you cannot.
Right. Unless you're known for that, and that's what he was known for. Like Aaron White says here, I like how his voice delivers the jokes. It's very unique and very funny, and that's pretty much it, because he can tell you the worst joke in the world and just be like, "Well, you don't like it? Well, fuck you." He's just nonchalant. Seth,
one of those guys.
Do you know anything about Norm Macdonald on your end?
I do. I'm not like paid attention to like the things he's most known for, like that stuff. But I've seen him, like, I've always felt like he was like everywhere, like you hear his voice, whether it's live action, animated, or whatever, you instantly know who it is. It's Norm Macdonald. You know, like, you don't even have to look it up. Like, oh, is that Norm Macdonald? You know, it's Norm Macdonald. And, he was in a movie that I liked when I was like 8. That was like the first time I knew who he was, because I was like, even when I was 8, I was like, his voice is interesting. So I looked up his name and I was like, oh, Norm Macdonald. I just never forgot his name since I was like 8.
What movie was that?
It was this weird, like, talking dog animated, or not animated movie, but he played the dog. It was like a talking dog movie, or the dog was like a vampire or something. It was a weird movie, but
the dog was a vampire. What?
Yeah, no, the dog was a vampire.
Didn't Norm Macdonald play the voice of the dog in Dr. Dolittle 2?
I've never seen Dr. Dolittle 2. I don't know. Maybe he did.
But I'm going to have to look that up. Dr. Dolittle, because I'm pretty sure he did the voice for the dog in that movie as well.
Do you know something else as well? Because of all of what's happened to me, I end up sort of like watching a lot of like reruns and stuff of his, and I was watching like a tribute, and it was him on one of the appearances on the Letterman show. And when he got fired from Saturday Night Live, he went on the Letterman show and he was talking to him, and he was saying, I don't know why I'm fired. And he's just like, that smirk of a laugh on his face. And he said, and Letterman was like, well, who's the boss? And then he said the boss's name, and David Letterman was like, well, why did they fire? That guy's an idiot. And that's a big thing for like a talk show host to say about a CEO or something of a giant corporation. Like, you don't do that. And for Letterman, so basically Letterman to put his neck on the line for his friend kind of thing. It was more than just to go on there. Because I like Letterman. I've always liked Letterman, but I kind of, my respect level for him went up like tenfold, because I'm thinking, this dude's come on the show. He's just lost his job. He's been fired. Everyone's tarnishing him in the press and everything at the time. He's gone on there, and then you've gone on there and said this network CEO is a complete idiot. Like,
I didn't realize I didn't realize he got fired.
Yeah, it on. He was fired by, I forgot the guy's name now, but he was like one of he was the CEO or president of whoever this Saturday Night Live was on.
Is that Lorne Michaels?
I'm not sure. No. It weren't the show. It was whoever run the above that, like
the network. That. The network.
Yeah.
I got you.
That. Okay. And then he was like, I rang him up, and he go, because he basically, Norm went on the Letterman show before he was fired. He goes, no, the guys upstairs, they're cool. I like them. They're nice people, blah, blah. Just doing the right thing of what he's got to do. And then when he came back after he's been fired, he goes, you know what? He goes, I've been thinking about what he said, Letterman. He goes, that guy ain't very nice. But he didn't swear. He weren't abusive.
Right.
It made everyone laugh, because of course he's not nice. He's fired you. Do you know what I mean? And it's, but I give a lot of praise to Letterman, because, as you say, you don't really have someone stand out and say, look, that guy up the top there is a bit of an idiot. You've got to be careful. Like in that industry, you know what I mean?
Letterman's known for doing that. I mean, even CBS, where his show was platformed for 30 some odd years, he always dissed them and went to battles with them. About he was always wanted the Tonight Show, and he could never get it, and he almost was bitter with CBS. Yeah, I don't know, but that's a whole horse of a different color.
Yeah. I just thought it was great because I mean, when things like this happen, people are sort of like who don't know who he is, will end up go back and watching things and sort of educated to a comedian because, as I say, like when you hear of someone's death, people always end up going back and looking at their work. Everyone seems to it's just a natural part of life. But I hope a lot of more people now, like we're talking about it on here and people were talking about it elsewhere, that they'll go and look for his work and think, wow, that guy was like, so he gets the love that I feel that he's always deserved. I just thought he was great. Really did.
Yeah, a little resurgence of Norm
Yeah,
Macdonald. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm ready for that. I could go on a Norm Macdonald binge. But anyhow, rest in peace, Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Thank you for the laughs. And yeah, it sucks that he's young, 61. I know it doesn't sound young to you, Seth, but when you're closer to my age, it doesn't sound so old anymore.
Like, yeah, I'm 41 and I'm like, it's 20 years from here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's just not that old. Like when I think of old age, I'm thinking 88, 92, like someone who's lived their life 60 years old.
Yeah.
61 is just kind of, you're starting to get old. It's not, you know, grandkids and great granddad, and you're not there yet. So it's just a shame. I just think it's a shame.
Well, let's just move along here. I could sit and talk about Norm all day, but Christopher Nolan leaves Warner Brothers.
Yep.
And he headed over to Universal. No,
good.
why do you? Yeah, good. This kind of goes in line with just Warner Brothers. Like, I wish DC was not part of Warner Brothers.
So do I.
Yeah, I wish they, but unfortunately they own fucking all of it. They have the rights to all of the DC. Just Warner Brothers seems to be making misstep after misstep after misstep, and I think the Snyder Cut issue really brought that to light. You know.
Yeah.
But Nolan, he's going to head to Universal. I remember when he got really mad at Warner Brothers. Seth, you remember that, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I think it was when they announced all of their 2021 slate was going to HBO Max for like no additional charge. Yeah. I think I can't remember his quote exactly, but I'm pretty sure that's what made him upset.
Is that what?
Yeah, it was about Tenet. Yeah. He said something along the lines of, "I went from working to one of the best, one of the best film distributors to one of the worst streaming sites," or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
So yeah, he's going to head over to Universal, which says Nolan will get to make the movie he wants, how he wants, and Universal more strongly positions itself as the biggest not Disney theatrical expedition. Now, do we have to put not Disney? Like, is that just how powerful Disney is?
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
I think even whatever happens with him, I'm glad anyway, because it's the same with, as much as I hate the fact Snyder's not part of it. I know we've gone all over that, but
yeah,
in a way, I'm kind of happy for Snyder as a director, producer, and everything, because it's like with Nolan now, they'll have that freedom to go and do what they want, how they want. Like, I can't imagine at the time he done Inception and that they would get too involved with things, because they just let him do his thing. And I know no one could have predicted the pandemic. It's affected everyone, but I think change is always good in terms of things like that. And I think he'll come out with, another Nolan type movie that will just be brilliant. Like, I like him a lot.
Yeah, I haven't watched Tenet. I don't know, like, when it comes to Nolan movies, they're hit or miss with me. And when they miss, it's because it just kind of seems I'm getting exactly what I expect. You know, like, I'm not being wowed. It just seems like Tenet to me just seems like a different version of Inception. I haven't seen Tenet, but it came across that way.
I think it's the most of all of his movies. It's the most. I don't want to sound horrible, but I think it's the most simple. So I don't know whether this is. I don't know whether the production of the movie might have been a bit, because it's not. It feels like a Nolan movie, but it's a lot more tame to what you would expect from one of his. Like if you watch Interstellar or something, there's always like a deeper story to it. If you watch Inception, it's like here and there's layers. There's always some crazy, bizarre twist in it. Whereas Tenet is quite. It's just quite ABC done. It's not really as complicated as the others, but I don't know where I'm going with it. I just always liked him. Like I remember when I first see Interstellar, I didn't like it, and it was the first movie of his I really watched, and I was like, I don't like this movie. But 6 months later, I watched it again, and I just cried my eyes out, man. By the end of it, I was crying my eyes out. I just thought it was a wonderful film, and I just like him a lot. I think he's very good.
Have you seen Memento?
I have now. Do you know what? And that's because one of my friends, after I watched Inception and those movies, he was going, "You've got to see Memento." I was like, okay. And I watched it and I was like, this guy's amazing. Why did I not watch this before? Why didn't, you know what I mean? So hopefully he'll get back to his roots of his just doing his thing.
Yeah. Memento is one of those movies that's really good to watch one time because once you know how it pans out, it's not as exciting the second time, but yeah, it is a great first watch. Have you seen Memento, Seth?
I have not.
I believe that's his first movie.
I think
Nolan's
it is
first movie.
Yeah, I think
so. Yeah,
but
yeah, he's just one of those guys. I think him. I love Snyder, and I think I say him and Snyder because they're the two directors like of modern this time where I think they're going to give me something completely different to everyone else. Like I wasn't mad on the zombie movie that Snyder done, but he's completely different to what you're going to get with everyone else. And I'd rather take a risk on that kind of director and watch a movie where I'm going to go like, what's going on here? Like it's all upside down and everything's inside out. I'm like, I just find that more fascinating. It's interesting to me.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, wasn't Christopher Nolan the one that suggested Zack Snyder to do this?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I believe that's how that went down. Am I right?
That was him. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. Because they wanted Christopher Nolan to do Man of Steel, and he had just gotten out of doing the Dark Knight trilogy, so he didn't want to jump into another one. He was like, I got someone for you. So, and
that's what I mean. You got to give him props because after the Batman movies that we know, like Batman '89, Batman Returns, and all them, it's as silly as they got by the end of it. They're still considered great Batman. They are still great superhero films, but when Nolan got it, I was like, oh no, man, you can't do another it's just not going to work. And he blew my brains away with Batman Begins and Dark Knight. I think they're just they're incredible films. So
they're so good, good,
brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant.
All right, well, yeah. Christopher Nolan leaves Warner Brothers, and I don't blame him. So good luck, Chris.
Who's on you? So he's at part of Universal. Who are the other big hitters at Universal? Then would you say? Because I don't really follow who's part of what, signed to who. So I don't really know.
I don't really either. I know what's his name? Not James Wan, but the other one that he did Saw with. He just did something Antonell. He just did the Invisible Man.
I love that. That surprised me a lot.
Yeah, because I think he's going to take over the realms of the monster universe. That they're doing, because I know they're doing a Dracula. It's all going to be modern time.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's his first step into that was the Invisible Man. And the Dracula one sounds really curious too. It's going to be so different. It's going to be like a guy who kind of lurks in his basement. Just
I hope they do.
I don't know. It's going to be strange.
I hope they, like you say, I hope they follow the same path as how the Invisible Man was. And what I mean by that, I don't know if you guys enjoyed it, but all I remember when Invisible Man was announced, all I could think of, you're going to remember about this, Stevie. Do you remember the Chevy Chase one?
Yeah.
In the 80s, yeah. Yep. So when they announced the Invisible Man, in my head, all I'm thinking is this quirky comedy dude. You know what I mean? I was expecting that. I weren't expecting this thriller horror kind of movie at all. So when I started watching it, I was like, oh, it ain't a comedy. It's not geeky. It's not this silly comedy. And I didn't know what to expect. That's probably why I enjoyed it.
Did you ever see I think it was called The Shadow?
You're gonna talk about
with
no Hollow Man. You're talking about with
no
Kevin Bacon.
no
Oh, really?
not Hollow. There's one with I think it was Steve Baldwin.
Alec
Yeah,
Baldwin. Oh, The Shadow. Yeah, that was the
yeah, the
superhero
Shadow.
movie.
Yeah, he was like an invisible guy. No, Hollow Man was really good.
Yeah,
Hollow Man was really good.
The Shadow.
Yes,
I went to the theaters to see that.
Leigh Whannell, that's it. Thank you, Aaron. Yes, that's the guy who did Invisible Man and also co-created Saw with James Wan back in the day. He's the guy that's in the bathroom with other dude in Saw. He's the one that like dug into the back of the toilet. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Leigh
yeah,
Whannell.
Yeah.
So okay,
And
yes, thank you, Aaron.
before you do
Yeah,
another
go ahead.
sad one,
Yeah.
this is how well I know The Shadow. The soundtrack theme song is done by Taylor Dane, and the theme tune is, oh mate, it's nuts, mate. Yeah, I've seen that a lot.
I have to hear it now. I can't.
Similar to sort of Darkman. Do you remember Darkman with Liam Neeson? Did you ever see that?
I never saw
Yeah,
that
you need.
one.
Yeah, Darkman. It's similar to The Shadow. They're not like your top tier superhero movies. They're kind of like they should be on just TV movies, but they're still
Yeah.
kind of all right. But yeah, I've got,
now I want to watch The Shadow.
I want to watch that tonight.
All right. So this is a little askew, and it's again not really new news, but it's definitely going to bring up a topic that I would like to pick your brain about. Chris Rock opens up about Superman Lives.
Oh, I thought he was going to bring this up.
Did you really?
Yeah, because I was going to say it earlier on.
I haven't heard anything about this. What is this?
Do you not know Superman Lives?
I know what Superman Lives is, but what does Chris Rock know about it?
Well,
was he ever involved with that?
He was cast in it. He was going to play Jimmy Olsen.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that. I knew Nicolas Cage was Superman, and Tim Burton, of course, was going to do it. I think Kevin Smith was going to write it.
Yeah, Kevin
I might
Smith.
be wrong there, but
no, you're not wrong. It's actually Kevin Smith. He did like the initial screenplay of it, but then Burton hired some of his, some of his people to kind of like revamp it. But yeah, so Kevin Smith did write it, and basically Chris Rock it was a very simple thing. He just said, I was cast in Superman 20 years ago when Nick Cage was going to play Superman. I was cast. I had a wardrobe fitting. I saw the miniature sets. I was hanging out with the director, Tim Burton, and the whole thing fell apart. There's a part of me that's like, where's my superhero movie? I was so close, or I was this close. I can hear that in Chris Rock's voice. Where's my Superman movie?
Yeah.
God, that's a terrible Chris Rock. No.
I'm trying to think of who you reminded me of then. Where's my Superman movie? God damn it. You sound like, no, you didn't sound like Chris Rock. You sounded like, what's his name? Oh, no, I forgot his name. Oh, God, he's another comedian, black comedian with a bald head. Oh, God, what is his name? He always gets himself in a lot of trouble.
Chappelle.
That's who you sounded like, Chappelle.
Oh,
I love Chappelle's another dude I love.
Oh yeah, dude, Chappelle's absolutely great. He actually lives not too far from me.
Go knock for him. Tell him I said hello.
Yeah, will do.
Gav said hi.
Hey, Ramon from Hit or Miss TV.
If that way.
Dude, this is a movie that is so outlandish that I want to see it. Like I know they never made it and there's nothing to see besides, them fitting on the suits. And, I know there's a documentary about it, but man, how crazy would this movie have been? A Superman that doesn't fly. He would have had the electric suit.
The electric suit is weird. That's a weird idea.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so strange. But yeah, what about you, Ramon? Have you ever been curious to see what Superman Lives would have been, or are you just kind of like glad it didn't happen?
No, at the time I would have wanted it to happen. I think it's one of those things now, like we look back and go, what if, and it's, I don't know how it would have come out. I mean, Nicolas Cage is one of those where people either love him or hate him because he's a strange guy. There's no doubt about that. He's a weird type of dude, but there's films, I've got to be honest, there's got to be 3 or 4 of his movies over the years, which I think are absolute classic movies. Like I'll throw out like The Con Airs, which is good anyway. But like there was one called City of Angels. I love Raising Arizona.
Yeah, City of Angels is so good.
It's what I mean. He's done Leaving Las Vegas, where he's an alcoholic, and he's sort of like he drinks himself to death. Like these movies he's done, where I'm like, this guy's an incredible actor, but then he does these really silly, cash grab movies. But I think he would have been. At that time, he was doing movies like City of Angels, Leaving Las Vegas, and I think he would have been brilliant because he was in his prime Nicolas Cage, not so too crazy stage. I think he would have been great, but it's just one of those things.
Yeah, here's that electric suit that was going to be in there.
That's something for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it has lights strung out throughout the bodysuit, so like it would constantly just be moving, looking like electricity.
Yeah,
but God, and there's the actual suit he was going to wear. That's actually a pretty cool looking suit.
Yeah, I mean, maybe things have things happen for a reason and everything else, but it's just a shame that he never got to sort of lead that sort of movie at that time, because he can do, like, I've just seen a couple of his new films. Cage, he done a movie called one of them is called Pig, and the other one is I've actually got it on my list to watch at the moment. Superman fan, I'll be down to see it for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Aaron White. I was just about to ask you what your thoughts were on this movie. I know you'd go see it just on principle alone, because it's Superman. But Aaron, if you could just give me a little comment below, like, do you think this would have been an awesome Superman movie, or do you think it just would have been one of those like, well, that exists? I'm curious to see your thoughts.
I think it's difficult, isn't it? So because as well, you got to remember as well when he's saying at the time, Burton didn't continue to do it, and he went off and done Sleepy Hollow. I love Sleepy Hollow. I think I just love that movie.
I love that movie too.
And I think at the time he was in that stage of like Edward Scissorhands, Sleepy Hollow. Like, to me, he was in his prime. But Batman '89, like, he was in his prime of making movies. So I think if he'd done Superman at that time, I think it would have been on the same sort of level as like Batman and all that, because he was just in a bubble where he was on fire. I just think,
I don't know. It's hard to tell what the Superman movie with him would have been like, because, unpopular opinion here, I think the movies are fun, but Batman '89 and Batman Returns,
really,
I like them because they're nostalgic to me. But at least in my opinion, the writing of Batman is kind of yikes. The Batman within those two movies is the same exact thing the entire time. There's no difference between Bruce Wayne and Batman. No, he gets zero character development at all. He is the exact same at the end of Batman Returns as he is at the beginning of Batman '89. He is the exact same, and just
it's so interesting hearing a
it is because everyone I know my age, he's not my favorite Batman, Keaton, but Keaton is considered like Batman, like he's considered like the best, like by a lot of people. And for me, I don't think he's the best, but it's weird, like you say, hearing someone a lot younger thinking, but that's everyone's entitled to their own views on it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and it's hard to say. It's kind of hypocritical of me to judge him for killing, because Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman. But I'll say this: Ben Affleck, he had like his whole arc, his redemption arc in the Snyder Cut. Michael Keaton just like straight up kills people, like full on, cold blooded, no mercy, like at all. He's just like when he's lighting the cloud on fire. He's having fun. He's doing it for fun. He's not doing it because he has to.
Good. Yes.
He wants to hurt those people. He wants.
Yeah, it's weird though as well, because I think that's one thing where I agree with Seth is Batman Affleck. I mean, I've said it on here. I won't go waffle on. Sorry, but when he was initially said like Affleck was going to be Batman, I was like, no. But he is now. Like, I don't really want anyone else to be Batman, because I just think he was so good at it. And looking back at the Keaton ones, I do understand where you're coming from. I understand what you're saying, because there's not really an arc as such of development for the character. It just kind of goes along and then that's it. But I just love them for what they are. And I don't know if you agree, Stevie, but for us, all we would know growing up was the Caped Crusader, like the TV camp
Yeah.
show with Adam West, which I
Yep.
love Adam West and
Oh, yeah,
Cesar Romero, like they're classics, but we'd never really had Batman on big screen, so it's like take what you can get kind of thing, and it was
Yeah, it was definitely a different mindset when we went and saw that movie than like I believe I said this in one of my reviews actually about Batman, where I was talking about, you know, like we don't really have much Batman to go to. We have Adam West Batman, and then the 1930s. I said,
that's
but you
it.
know, somebody like my son Seth, you know, he has
He's
a
lucky.
pick and choose which Batman he wants.
It's
You know,
true,
like
yeah.
we didn't have that. We had, you know, the 60s Adam West, you know, thing, and then when this showed up, this dark, gritty, like almost scary looking Batman. Yeah, it
would be
was
kind of
beautiful.
it'd be kind of like if Seth, when you're 40 or something, it would be like they're making part 18 of Black Adam, and you'll be like, I remember that with The Rock. I remember the first one, and it's like you know what I mean? That's kind of what it feels like with Batman. I mean, I think I don't really dislike any of the Batmans, even Val Kilmer. Like, I don't really hate the movies. I do like them a lot, but I just feel that Affleck at this moment in time just nailed everything right. And
yeah, absolutely. So there is one more thing I wanted to discuss with you guys.
Please don't bring up what I think you're going to bring up.
What do you think I'm going to bring up?
Are you going to bring up a film that's getting made? Oh no, it's not. It's not.
Okay. What did you think I was bringing up?
Something that really offended me, but you know, I'm old.
Are you talking about the remake of was it Lost Boys?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I want to burn. I want to burn that. I want to burn the studio down. Sorry.
Okay. Well, you know
angry.
what? Let's talk about that. Okay.
Wait. Whoever's working in that studio, your mum. That's it. That's it.
Oh boy.
That for me, Lost Boys for me is like, it's such a special movie.
It is
such a special film.
Well, okay, so I know people say that, and I don't disagree with you, but I totally missed the nostalgia train for the Lost Boys. Like I just wasn't. I didn't watch that movie until I was already an adult, you know. And now the soundtrack is killer. You know, the movie is fun, but I don't have that same nostalgia as a lot of fans do. Now, here's my thing with remaking movies, and I think I've said it on this channel before when we were talking about, I believe it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't see a problem with them remaking things. If it sucks, the original is still going to be there. It's not going to go anywhere. You can go back and watch the original.
Burn the studios down, burn them all. But look, this is how I look at it, right? Think about it. I see that photo, right, of the cast. This is nothing on the cast or the director who are going to be remaking Lost Boys. I see that cast goes, you got the kid from Stranger Things, I think it is, and another kid from somewhere else. And I was like, oh, I like those actors. I like them actors. I think they're really cool actors. And I think, why not just give them, if they're talking about, they've got that cast for the Lost Boys, why don't they just give them a new kind of right? It's not got to be Lost Boys. Do a vampire story about young kids that's kind of like Twilight, but not Twilight. Make it more horror with young boys at school that are a group of young boys at school. It don't have to be called Lost Boys. A new kid joins a school and it's a horror, and they join a group and they're a gang of young kids at school that are killing all the other kids, and it's like scary and great. I'm down for that. I think it would be amazing. But it's when you're sort of like like, you know, Point Break and let's remake this movie. It's like
Flatliners was a pointless remake.
See, and again, it's nothing to say that it didn't have a good cast. Like, I like a lot of the actors that were in the remake of Flatliners, but I'm like, Flatliners is done. Do another story. Just make another horror movie. Like, it's like Hollywood, and are afraid to make new things. Like, I don't know. That's just.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but who knows? Maybe it'll be. If Hollywood didn't do remakes or reimaginings, I wouldn't have Evil Dead, and I love Evil Dead.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, so like,
I think it's difficult. I think if it's something that's like a lot different to the original, and they go in a different direction and try new things, I think cool. But with a lot of these remakes, it's just kind of like, I remember Vince Vaughn redone Psycho, and it's just like, It's the same thing with just a new camera. It's the same movie. It's nothing.
Well, that one was a little more special in the sense that it was the same exact script. Like they didn't change anything.
Yeah.
They just turned it into color. That was
I don't know. Or go in a different direction. Look at what's his name? Brightburn. Did you see Brightburn?
Yeah.
It was kind of like Superman, but it was like, what if the kid was evil? And I was like,
Yeah.
I love that because it's the same. Really, it's the same towel, but on the flip side. And I love that movie. That's what I mean. I'd like more movies that are like that. They're taking a risk to do something a little different. The budget,
Brightburn was good.
like the budget ain't insane. Like they're not spending like millions like your Marvel movies. They don't have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see that I'm passionate about that. I'm sorry. I just
no. I love how passionate you are. I've also learned a lot about you that I think you might murder people, like for real, in real life.
Wait, do you know what it is? Like The Crow. They've been trying to remake The Crow for so many years. Leave it alone. Brandon Lee is The Crow. That's it. Like
I was on board with when they had Jason Momoa tagged.
I love Jason Momoa, but make another film, make it in the same universe of The Crow, and make him be the Raven.
Yeah,
like make him just be a different thing and tie it to that, the same music, and go to the grave and go, oh, it's Eric Draven. You'd be like, wow, but it's a different story.
I get what you're saying, and yeah, I totally get it, man. And you're not wrong, but you know, to me, it is what it is.
I think they just see it now. I think more and more now with Hollywood, they just see it as it's easy money, and we don't have to really think about what we're doing. Someone comes along, do you want to remake Lost Boys? Yeah, all right. Do you want to do remake Grease? Yeah, all right. It's just going to guarantee they're going to get their money back.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know. I just want more original great movies like when we were younger. The first Terminator movie comes out, Predator comes out, then RoboCop comes out, E.T. comes out, then Goonies comes out. You're like, yo, there's like all of these new properties. No one even knows what they are. They're brilliant. But I don't think kids get that now. I don't think they get a lot of.
Well, they do with the MCU and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, the comic book stuff. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Seth, is there a movie that you really enjoyed and then it came out and they remade it and you thought it was trash?
Not off the top of my head. Not one that I can think of.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you even know about The Lost Boys? Have you ever seen it?
I know what it is. I've never seen it, so that's why I haven't like chimed in at all here.
Right.
Like I have nothing to say about The Lost Boys.
It's just a silly vampire movie. It's nothing like. It's not, to be honest, like you say, it's not even really like, you're not going to watch it and go, why was he so, you're going to be like, why was he so excited about this? It's just a vampire movie. But it's because it's kind of like I don't know, it's like a cult phenomenon of a movie. It's like them specific movies that come out and you go, it's a moment in time. Like Lost Boys captured a moment in time and of an era, and you watch it and it's like, that's the moment. And if they remake it, it's going to have Chris Brown doing the bloody soundtrack and flipping. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. No,
yeah, The Lost Boys, one thing I did admire about it was its creativity of vampires. You know, it was like a gang. It was like a vampire gang, you know, that would just go around and harass the people. 30 Days of Night was another really good vampire movie. I'd
put that up there as well. That's another one. That's a great film. Love that film.
Well, Lost Boys remake. Obviously, Ramon, you're just not down for it.
Now you know. Now both of you know. Anytime you want to push my buttons, all you've got to say is, "Oh, do you know they're going to remake this?" That's all you've. Because I just want to see new ideas, or you know.
Yeah, to burn down the bloody studio. That's
like remember we was talking the other week about Fantastic Four, right? Okay.
Yeah.
As cheesy as the other ones were with Silver Surfer and that, I still love them. If they go and make, which they're going to go and make another Fantastic Four, I don't want to watch the same film, right? They're going to go up to space, they're going to get zapped, and then they come back down again. Oh, I've got power. We've seen that. Like,
yeah.
Or if if they do the next Spider-Man after Tom Holland, do you really want to see him as a kid again, getting bitten on the arm, and then he goes home and then he wakes up and, oh, look, I've got powers. Like, it's been done a million times. Just move on from that. Like,
I'm sure they're not going to go that route with them. I'm pretty sure Disney is very intuitive about not doing that. We don't want to see Uncle Ben die. Instead, we'll just call
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah.
Instead, we'll just call him Tony Stark.
I'd tell you what I would love. I'd love a live. Well, I know they're kind of doing it anyway. I was going to say that Into the Spider-Verse. I'd love a sequel to that because I really enjoyed that.
So, Aaron White, The Lost Boys is an 80s classic. The 80s alone is a great decade of movies and music. Fight me in this.
And it's not even really that it's been stuck on the 80s. If you was to sit here now and say, yeah, but we've got I don't even know. Just say, I don't know, Zac Efron and all of these guys, they're in this new vampire movie and it's like amazing horror movie. And we watched it and was like, that was amazing. And I'd go, they've smashed it. They've just made a new, not Lost Boys, but they've made a new thing. I'd be like, I'd back that 100% because I just want to see good films, like new good movies that are original. That's all it is.
Well, but Ramon, let's say they remake Lost Boys. And you absolutely love it. Is that? I'll
be honest and say I said the same about when they was making It, because to me, Tim Curry will always be Pennywise the clown. Like I love the original It, the TV series. It was so tacky and trash, but it's wonderful. And Tim Curry is brilliant as Pennywise. When they remade it, I was like, it's like with the Friday the 13th. I was like, you can't. Just leave it alone. But then I watched it and it's great. I'll come out here and say if Lost Boys is great and we watch it, I'll come out and say I'm an idiot. I was wrong. It's a brilliant movie. But the law of logic of what we've seen so far, it's kind of one in 10 of these films that are remakes. We come out and go, oh wow, that was really good.
So the
other 9 are kind of.
So you liked it? You liked it? The movie
I loved the remake. The first time I watched it, I didn't because I was too stubborn in. Like you can see it. I'm too stubborn. I'm like, nah, not.
I'm glad I asked you because that's why I wanted to know. Like if
Honestly, the remake of it, I must have watched it 10 times. I think the soundtrack on that is amazing. The second one ain't as good, but the first one I've seen it so many times. It's just so many times, and it has got its own way of telling the story. It's different to the original. It's got its own unique way of telling the story.
Well, when I watched it as a kid, the TV made for TV movie, I just remember thinking, man, I really wish they would just make a movie about their time as kids because like they keep referring back to it. And I'm
it's
like,
that's the best part.
That's the best part. Yeah, exactly. Like, why aren't they showing me this? So when it came out, that's why I loved that they went that route with it. Like that was, I
think it's the same with me. Like that first one, it's that it goes back to the same thing of the nostalgia thing, like movies like Stand By Me, Goonies, and coming of age movies, growing up, young boys together. All right, guys, what we doing? Playing around. Let's talk about comics, games. That's kind of what I want in them movies, and that's what I really, really loved. And I think that remake of it done that well. I think it done that part brilliantly. The second one,
yeah. Well, Lost Boys remake, I can take it or leave it. I'm not as passionate as Ramon, but I'm going to move on here because Seth is over there probably like half asleep because he.
No, I'm listening. I just don't have anything to say.
All right, so Hawkeye trailer for Disney Plus. Have you guys watched the trailer yet?
I have watched it multiple times.
Oh, real quick, Aaron White. Monster Squad. He just got that movie, or I think his kids just got him that movie, or he's watching it today, or something like that. I saw your post today, Aaron. So Hawkeye trailer for Disney Plus. What are your thoughts, Seth?
I'll let Ramon go on first because I'm going to freak out.
No. I've done my waffling for today, and I'd like to apologize to you both because you touched a nerve. And I went off on one, and I'd like to apologize to you both. I'm sorry, Seth.
You touched a nerve. No, it's called nerve plucking, and I don't know.
Now you know how to do it. I'm just going to say, no, I'm really.
We'll all have our turn with the nerve plucking, I'm sure.
I'm gonna be like, no, I love remakes.
All right, Seth.
All right,
lay it down for us. Hawkeye trailer.
This right now is my second most anticipated thing in the MCU. Like. The only thing I'm more excited for right now is No Way Home. The only thing I'm more excited for right now is No Way Home. Everything else, I'm more excited for Hawkeye. I thought this trailer was perfect because I've been reading the Matt Fraction Hawkeye run. Matt Fraction is a writer. and that's what this takes heavy inspiration from. And this
hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. I hear something in the other room, and I'm home alone, so it's kind of freaking me out.
Okay.
Pennywise.
But oh man, I've been reading the Matt Fraction Hawkeye run. It's great. It's a great run. There's only 4 volumes of it, but I'm on volume 2 right now, and it's this trailer is like right off the pages.
That was fucking weird.
What was it?
Alexa was just playing music. Oh, she's probably gonna do it again because I just said that out loud. Damn it. Alexa, stop.
That's a roller coaster.
Oh, that really. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry to interrupt. That really freaked me out because, like, I just heard somebody talking in the other room. I'm like, I'm home alone. Okay.
Pennywise.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
Seth. Please continue.
You're fine. So, my second most anticipated MCU project. I've been reading the Matt Fraction Hawkeye run. It's really good, and it's right off the pages. Like character wise, like. Clint is exactly how he should be. Kate Bishop is exactly how she should be. And it's looking like, there's all the rumors that Fisk is going to show up in this show. He's going to make his grand return. And he's
fit like from Netflix.
Yeah.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Fisk?
Vincent D'Onofrio, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's rumored to be playing Fisk in this show.
I didn't know that.
And Fisk is in the comics as well. He doesn't have like a super huge role, but I mean, from the rumors, it's like he's supposedly making his debut in like episode 5, and the show only has like 6 episodes, so he's not going to be like some huge part who has like. But I mean, that's their first step into bringing back all the Netflix stuff, and of course the rumors of Matt Murdock being in No Way Home. Yeah, but I don't know, I could go on all day about how excited I am for Hawkeye. I love the Christmas vibe. Jeremy Renner seems like he's stepping up his game with Hawkeye.
Okay, stepping up his game. I'm going to maybe agree and disagree with you on that because Jeremy Renner, to me, is just a TV actor. He should stay in that realm or not be a lead actor. Nerf pluck.
Burns.
You can't do that to Ramon 2 times in a row.
No, like you see, I love Jeremy Renner.
Well, here's the thing. Every time he stars in a movie, I just don't like him in it. He's great as a side character. He's great as a TV star. I don't like him starring in movies. It's a
good thing this is a TV show.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This fits like. The vibe that I got from this is where I agree with you. Like he looks like this is the Jeremy Renner that I like, and he's going to give us that great performance. I mean, even in the movie Endgame, Jeremy Renner's performance is laughable to me. I just can't get behind. You want to talk to a guy, you can take it up with him. Like what the fuck is this? The way he talks, I don't know. Hopefully this TV show rectifies that because it looks like it will. Sorry, Ramon.
Ramon looks upset.
Yeah, sorry, Ramon. To each their own on this one, but okay, Ramon, take the floor.
No, I just like him. I like Jeremy Renner. That's all. I'm going to keep it calm, and I think everyone's entitled to their opinion. And a lot of people feel the way you feel, though, with Jeremy Renner. I think a lot of people, and it's funny, I'm saying all this to defend him, and I wasn't that excited about the trailer. I'm the opposite to Seth, which is strange because when they showed the whole thing with Ronin, so I'm gonna have to read this run that you're talking about, Seth, because when I watched the trailer, all I could think of was like family comedy, Home Alone type movie for Christmas. That's what I was thinking of when I was watching it. I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling this because I was so hyped up for it. I was expecting it to be following from when the blip happens, then he becomes Ronin, and I know they'll probably, I think you said it, Stevie, they'll probably go into it. So I think I was just expecting something a little darker in tone, and because it was all more sort of comedy, and that was a bit like, but I've just got to get that. It's probably my own fault because I just had different expectations of what I was going to get. So I've just got to put that out of my head now. And like you said, there's a run of stuff that you've read. I'll read that and then I'll go back and watch, because I'm going to watch it anyway. And it'll probably be, like you say, it'll probably be very, very, I think it will be very, very good.
Well,
and
I think Ramon, that you're probably going to get part of what you want, because
yeah,
I think a lot, what I gathered from the trailer is that there's going to be consequences of him being Ronin that come back, and that's going to be the conflict here.
mm.
You know, so you might get elements of what you want, but I get what you're saying. You want the actual, like,
I was just,
Ronin
because
story.
that's because it was kind of what I was expecting when they said, "Oh, Hawkeye show." I was like, "Great!" So we're going to find out what happened to him up to the moment where Black Widow grabs him on the shoulder and
Yeah.
says, "Come back," and he's like, "My family." I thought that was going to be the run up to this, but you know, that's because that story is so like the guy is so messed up, and I was thinking, yeah, but then I'm thinking that's probably because I like DC too much, and I'm thinking, no, this is Marvel. They keep the happier things. So like, you know, you're probably right. It will be good. I just expected something else. That's all.
Yeah,
I
can see
can
that.
understand that. It's just, you know, I think I'm more excited about it because I'm reading the comic
That's
like
what
right
I'm, yeah,
now.
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
so I think I'm gonna have to do the same.
I'm
I'll
like
have to
dead in the middle of that right
Yeah.
now. So I
turn
think
up
that's where most of my excitement is coming from.
Yeah.
Aaron White, Jeremy was great in Hurt Locker, but not so good in Born Legacy. This is what I'm talking about. He's just inconsistent. Sometimes I love Jeremy Renner. Sometimes I can't stand him when he's on screen. That one movie that he did, Seth, that comedy, and like,
Oh, I know. Tag.
was that it?
Oh,
Yeah,
about
Chuck
Tag.
Williams, he's amazing, bro.
Well, listen, his character's fun, but whenever like he talks dirty in that movie, like, it just does. It's like watching your kid just say all these nasty things. You're like, no, don't say that, Jeremy. You know, I just can't get behind him. I don't know why. I have, like, the Jeremy Renner that I know. What introduced me to him was his episode on the show House, where he played the drug addicted rock star, and then he had this, obviously some major medical issues, and he was on House. That's when I first met Jeremy Renner, and I've always just liked him in that atmosphere. So I think him leading this TV series is the perfect route for him, because him leading a movie, I'm just not, I'm just not confident like you are that he could do that successfully.
Have you ever seen the film Dahmer? Jeffrey Dahmer, and he played him. I think it was like 1992, and that's the first thing. That's the thing. Yeah, he plays Jeffrey Dahmer, the serial killer. That's the first thing. Yeah, that's the first thing I ever see with him. It might even be later than 92, actually, but that was just the first thing I remember seeing of him when I was in school, and I was like, I love this dude. Like, he's crazy. But then it's a more watered down version of what we get now in terms of what he does. But that's why I'm saying, when I was thinking, the darker Ronin, I was thinking, yeah, we're going to get to see him go back to his crazy side. But, you know, I like you say, I'm definitely going to read these comics now, because I'm probably going to have missed something. Do you know what I mean? And if you're saying it's all tied into it, I'll probably read them and come back to it like you have and be like, oh my God. And that's what I want, because I want to enjoy it. Yeah, that's it. Dharma.
Interesting. I know. I never knew this was a thing. Nice. They're remaking. They're doing another Jeffrey Dahmer movie with the dude who plays Quicksilver.
Evan Peters.
Yeah,
or the original one.
Yeah,
Evan Peters kind of has that. He actually looks like him a bit.
Oh, that's really cool. All right. Yeah. I think they're doing a new one with that, but sorry, went down a rabbit hole there. But overall, I'm excited for it. The trailer hit it for me. Yeah, I thought it was fun. It wasn't too serious, and be honest with you, it even though Loki was more fun, it was very heavy in its content. WandaVision, same thing, very heavy MCU content. Went to Falcon and Winter Soldier, just again very heavy, but this seems like, okay, we can sit back and enjoy and just like kind of watch a fun MCU thing. So that's where when I watched the trailer, it looked fun. And actually Aaron White was the one who sent me that when it first came out. But yeah, I'm down for it. I'm ready for it.
Wouldn't it be a shocker if this ends up being the one that ends up being like the most successful? I know it's not likely, because not everyone loves Hawkeye, but It would be a surprise. You know what I'm saying? Because it's coming out at
Yeah.
Christmas. Everyone will be in that spirit of movie. If it comes out and it's like absolutely huge, I hope it is for everyone involved. But we'll have to see, won't we?
I think
Yeah.
it easily could be.
You ready? Yeah.
I
hope.
Because of, yeah, I'm going to keep going back to this run as long as we talk about Hawkeye. But everyone who's read this comic run, and again, it's pretty short. It's only 20 something issues, so it's like a short run. But everyone who's read it, everyone will tell you that it's the best Hawkeye run. But some people even argue it's the best Marvel run ever.
Wow.
So, and I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's
but then
the
even
best Hawkeye comic.
But that's good though. That's
yeah.
If they're going down that route and telling that story, even if it isn't the best and it's like the second best or whatever, it's still for them to be putting that on screen is that can only be a good thing.
But it's just that, like, obviously the trailer's only about 2 minutes long, maybe even a little bit shorter than that. But just the way each character is portrayed is like, it's perfect. Clint Barton, Kate Bishop, they're dynamic in the trailer and in the comic. It's so well done. It's well done. I think that's why it's easily my most anticipated Disney Plus Marvel show and second most anticipated MCU project at the moment.
Well, see, this is what I like about talking with you guys. Seth is all about it. Ramon's a little disjointed, disjointed with it, and I'm on the fence with it. So, like, we all have three different varying opinions about this.
That's a good thing. That's what I'm trying to say. It would be boring if I came on here and then you two were on here and we're all like, yeah, everyone loves it, everyone's great, everything's every story we tell. It's best that I say something, because there'll be another thing that one of you will say, no, that looks trash, and I'm going to be like, no, it's amazing. That's the whole point of it all. I think.
Yeah.
That's what people want to see.
Yeah. So, when it comes to the news, I think that's all I have. Is there anything else that you guys did I leave out that you guys want to add? Or
I have nothing.
I've got one story, but I don't know. It's more of a rumor thing, so it's not really. I'd say it's kind of 5% true. I was watching a channel the other day of someone who's like connected to like Warner and all of that. I don't know how. I watch their videos quite a lot, and some of the things they say come out is true, some of it isn't. But what they're basically saying is, I don't want you to get excited, anyone, or angry, but they're saying that basically they believe that the Zack Snyder stuff will be restored next year, either by cinema or by HBO. And the reason being is because at the moment Discovery bought Warner. Is that right?
Yeah.
And they're doing a reshuffle of everyone who's up at the top. So that's why Warner haven't announced any new movie and TV projects other than what was already in the process of being made. So we're talking like The Flash was already being done. I think Aquaman 2 was already being done, but there's not been anything else beyond those movies into any, like, not just the superhero movies. There's nothing listed past sort of 2020, 21, 2022. So whether it could be, I mean, to be honest, if it was me as a personal taste, none of this might even happen. It's just rumor mill. If it's my personal thing, they've kind of made their bed with Snyder. I'd be more than happy if they said to him, make movies and they like you did, and it's going to be on HBO and it's going to be an 8-hour or 4-hour epic, and then continue with Robert Pattinson on the big screen movies. I just want to get like the end of what happened with the Justice League. That's just for the fan. But whether it all happens, I don't know. But I was watching this thing the other day and I was like, it would make sense, but I don't know. I mean, what do you think? I don't know if
it's to me, it's exhausting to think about. You know, all the time and effort that I put into release the Snyder Cut, all the rumors, all the YouTubers I saw get raked through the coals for no reason than, just that they had an opinion on it. What was it, Seth? Like a year ago, maybe a little bit more, like 2 years ago, when I decided to back out of the Snyder thing. I was like, I want to see this movie come out, but y'all are fucking crazy. So like, I'm out, and I stopped posting about it. I'd post every now and again, # release Snyder Cut, hope it happens. I wouldn't get caught up. And like, to go down these holes and theories, like I've done it so much that I hope it comes out, but I'm just not going to follow it anymore. Like,
that's what I mean.
I hope it does.
Yeah.
I think number one, the audience deserves to have a conclusion to this cliffhanger that we were left on, and number two, it's only right to let Zach finish his story, even if it's a different story now. He even said like his story is kind of changed in his head for where he wanted it to be. It's evolved, and I would like to see where that goes. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't. I'm just emotionally drained.
Do you know what I think would be great? Do you know what'd be crazy? Yeah, I think Warner with that. I don't think Warner really realized like the amount of backlash they would have got with the release of the Snyder Cut thing, and I think. I can't speak for everyone, but I think everyone that would want to watch that, I'd quite happily pay. If they said it's going to come out, it's going to be $10, $15, whatever it is to watch the next one. You've got to put into it, and it will fund the movie. I think that fan base will do that just to watch it. And if, like you say, if the big screen carries on, like you said earlier on, the Penguin spin-off and the Pattinson thing, if that becomes like the main thing on the big screen, I'm cool with that. I'd be great. It doesn't bother me to have both. I'd be quite happy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But it's like you say, we just want like a conclusion to what was there, because it'll be a case of in 20 years time or whatever, everyone will look back and go, why didn't they finish that? It'll be one of them. I think it will just be a cinema mistake. It'd be like having Infinity War and then Endgame don't come out. You'd be like,
yeah, exactly.
You can't leave it with that, but we'll see what happens.
What do you think? What do you think, Seth? What's going on in your head right now?
I think it's possible. Just a little bit. I think there's a small chance that it can happen. And I'm not going to sit here waiting for it to be announced, because if it doesn't, then like, at least in my point of view, then it doesn't happen. Like, I've accepted right now that it's probably not going to happen. So if it doesn't end up happening, then I'm not going to be let down even more. I'll be just as let down as I already am. I'm all open for it to happen. If they announce it and come out, yeah, we're doing Justice League 2 and 3, I'll be like, sure, of course, why not? But I think it's possible though, because like you talked about the Discovery buying WB, and like
I was talking, and I'll have to find the video and send it to you. It's like, so this guy was talking about it, and he was talking about it in depth of like, this person's going to be leaving to go and work at this place, this person's going to, and they were like all the executives who were against what Zack Snyder wanted to do, and they're like, this is why they've not. So again, it's all speculation and opinions, so none of this is like written or whatever. It's just what people are talking about, but it would make sense. And even as I said, I'd be happy, and I think most fans would be, if they just said, look, it's going to be a HBO thing. To be honest with you, I want to see it on the big screen, but they said it's going to be like this one, HBO, and then they're going to do it DVD. I'll be like, cool, man, I'm down with that. I'm
down with it too. The only thing that might concern me is if it does go to HBO Max, is that it would kind of lose the quality a little bit of the CGI and what have you.
Budget,
because he has big budget money with these, with the.
I don't know what did that last one cost? Do you know? I don't even know.
The Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Like what would that have? Because it would have been the original filming, and then plus what was, I don't know what that would have cost. It would have been a hell of a lot, though, wouldn't it?
There's a lot of money that they spent on that movie. If you include both versions, if you include the Snyder Cut and the theatrical cut that we got, they spent a lot of money on that movie, like hundreds of millions of dollars more than they needed to.
Yeah.
But I think I heard somewhere that like the base budget was like $300 million already. And then they threw like the reshoots on, and then on top of the reshoots and hiring Joss Whedon and all that, then they did the Snyder Cut, which they spent like I think $70 million more dollars to finish.
I was thinking like 70 or 90, something like that.
So that's got to be upward towards like $500 million they spent on this movie.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. There's another one as well, that the other one that's similar to that, and it's kind of nothing to do with it. But I remember, do you remember when, because you're talking about like the budgets of what things cost? I remember when the Solo Star Wars movie came out, and they'd done a lot of reshoots, and it cost something like nearly 300 million to make the movie overall. And first time round, it was like 150. So really, there's another version of the movie that's I know that'll never come out. I didn't mind Solo; it was an okay movie, but I'm always curious now when they've got another version, like the Suicide Squad, the first one,
The
like
Ayer cut,
yeah, like I'm always wondering now, is there a better version? And as a fan, you just want to see more because you enjoy what it is. It doesn't matter what, it could be any film. If you said to me Big with Tom Hanks had another version, I'd want to see that.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, oh wow, I wonder what the other one was like.
In this one, he turns small. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It just
the original Ant-Man. Yeah.
It's just as a film fanatic, it's the excitement of that.
You know, and in that same light, Ramon, like, even though I know we got the Snyder cut, I know it's a little different than what we were originally going to get. And like, I'm so always just curious of like what that original version was going to be. You know, it wasn't going to be a 4-hour epic. It was going to be like a 3-hour, or what was it? What was the number? The magic note 214.
214.
Yeah, 214. That's how many minutes its original runtime was.
That's 3 hours and 34 minutes, and the movie we got is I think it's exactly 4 hours long.
4 hours and 2 minutes. Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't know. Like, in that same light, I'm curious to see what that original version was going to be, because I'm like you, Ramon. Like, if there's another version, I'll watch it.
I think, and I know it's a bit of a repeating record, and I don't want to do that, but it baffles me, like with some studios, especially like Warner and stuff. Even if you're against the Zack Snyder thing, even if I was sitting here and I hated Justice League, it's quite obvious that the fans of that want another thing, want another movie, and it's a no-brainer for them to make money. I don't understand the logic. If someone said to me they want another High School Musical, it's going to make $800 million, well, go and make it then, because why would you say no? It doesn't make any sense. It's not hard for Warner. All they've got to do is say yeah.
Like, because it's not logical, because there's no logistics going into the way of thinking. What it is is they backstabbed Zack Snyder, and they're doing their very best just to not give it attention. That's all this pushback is.
That thing, did we talk about that last week with the trailer disappearing? Did we talk about that?
What trailer?
There's the DVD trailer of Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League. No. Yeah, right. So there's a trailer that come out advertising the Blu-ray and everything, and it was on Warner Brothers page, but then it was on an unlisted, so you could only watch it if you had the link to the unlisted thing, right? So they shared that around. People inside Warner shared that around, and it had over, I think it was 700,000 plays in a week or something like that. But it was only word of mouth, so it weren't a public thing. So as it was going to be public, you showed me it last week that you had a copy of it, I think.
Yeah.
And so then they deleted the video, and they've not promoted it. They've just removed any sort of promotion from it. So it just seems a bit, again, that seems strange. Like, don't you want to make money? Like, I know people like us are going to buy the Blu-ray, but Christmas is coming up. Why would you delete an advert?
Because Ramon, it's not about money with them. It's about pride. You know, that when it comes to Warner Brothers, their goal is not to worry about money. Their goal is to hide whatever happened. I mean, there's a reason why when they merged with AT&T and birthed Warner Media, you know, that's why AT&T is like, well, we're actually going to release a Snyder cut and put you under investigation, because like there's some major shit going on there. And look at Ray Fisher still having still not being Cyborg. Why is he not being Cyborg? Because accountability over entertainment. That's what he always says. The way they treated him and the other cast members needs to be rectified, and he's not.
It's sad. It's just, I think this is not coming from a place of me wanting to like do videos and be like, oh, let's have arguments and make videos to get loads of. It's not about that. This is just as a fan of someone who just like, I just want to see that shit, man. I just want to watch the damn movies. Like, and it frustrates me more that it's like you say, it's the studios, and it's not about the money. It's just about pride, and it's like you kind of lost sight then of what you're supposed to be as a company. Like you've lost sight of what you're supposed to be making films for your fans, for your people. Yeah, you've lost sight on what you're about, and that's what annoys me, because that's all we want to see. All of us, we just want to see good damn movies. That's it.
Well, did you remember the shade that Warner Brothers threw when the Snyder Cut was being released? And they put the commercial out for the Snyder Cut, and everybody, Warner Media shared it, AT&T shared it, but but Warner Brothers did not share it. And also,
it's just bizarre behavior.
What Warner Brothers did, is they released the 4K trailer for the theatrical version.
Oh my god, I remember that.
And that was, you know what? I remember when that came out. I went to see that at the theater, the Joss one, and it was because I loved the Ultimate Edition of Batman versus Superman so much, and I went to watch it just because I wanted my fix of better. I'm sorry, no homo, but I just wanted the fix of more Batman because I was beside myself. Like, I was so excited for Justice League, and when I went to watch it, I was like, "What on earth was that?" Like, I came out and I was like, "What was that?" Like, that just wasn't it.
Yeah, Seth and I went and saw it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Ramon, I actually liked it the first time I saw it, but that's because my brain didn't connect it to the previous movie. And I've always said if this movie was a standalone movie, it wouldn't have been too bad. But when so Seth and I watched it, and I was just like, yeah, it's not bad. And then we went and watched it again, and I'm like, wait, this has nothing to do with Batman v Superman. This is not, and Batman v Superman is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I'm like, wait a minute, I've been catfished. What the fuck? And then
I find it bizarre. It was just a bizarre movie, and I think you should have known, really. Do you know what? I think it goes back to the whole thing with Warner. If Warner was a decent bunch of human beings, the whole reason Zack didn't take part was because there was a tragedy in his family, and he stood back and said, look, I can't do it. There's a tragedy in my family. Out of good faith and goodwill, they should have just said, you know what, put it back a year, we'll halt it, and then when you're ready, come back and finish it, because that's what the fans want. That's what a good company should have done. And I know that's just me being the simple human being, but that's kind of what you should be doing. And I don't know. I don't understand that logic.
It came down to money, because not only did they used Zack's departure as a way to go behind his back and redo pretty much the entire movie. And the reason why they didn't push the date back a year is because the AT&T and Warner Brother merger was coming, and they wanted to get this movie released on its original date it was supposed to, so they could get a bonus. They were gonna. They thought if this movie released after the AT&T merger, they wouldn't get their bonuses. So that's why they never moved up the date, even though they reshot most of the movie.
It's so bad. And then, do you know what? The thing, that's what I'm saying. I think the reason the most of all is the distasteful thing. It's not like the Snyder one was a bad movie. Oh, we've got to stop, and he's left as a director. It's like, this is because someone in the family has passed away,
right?
And for you to then not have the human soul to just do the right thing by that kind of shows what a company is about. Like, I don't know. I don't want to get to it. It's just a bit of a nasty thing to do. I think it's just, you just don't do that. Like,
and that's why I don't. That's why I don't like Warner Brothers. That's why I'm just not. I don't back that. Like, I'll go watch the movies and stuff, but whenever Warner Brothers says something, like, oh, we're gonna support our directors, and let them make the movies they want to make. I'm just like, shut the fuck up. If you're gonna do that, then do right by.
So we'll
apologize. Make an apology to Zack Snyder. Do something.
It's so bloody easy. All I've got to do is that, and everything's cool. It's just. Yeah, it's just bizarre behavior. But you see, with the Suicide Squad you guys were saying about earlier, with Peacemaker, when's Peacemaker out then?
January.
Oh, right, okay. I wasn't sure when I didn't know if that was like the end of the year or.
Yeah, that Peacemaker's kind of right around the corner.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope Weasel's in it. That's all. I just want Weasel.
I think it will be. Maybe. I think it will be.
You want to hear this though? This is about the Justice League 4K trailer.
Oh, go on then.
This shows that everyone has Zack Snyder's back. 5.6 thousand likes, 137,000 dislikes. Got like,
and I think that's
YouTube video equivalent of a review bombed.
That's what I think it gets a bit misconstrued and twisted, because you said the other week when I said to you, Seth, about it, and you was like, no, I'd rather have the Pattinson one, you know, the Batman, where it's going with that.
Oh, yeah,
And I
forgot to
think
say
it.
that.
No, it was something along those lines. I was like, would you rather have the Snyder cut or the Batman? He's
Yeah.
like, no, I'd rather it continue, which is fair enough. But this is what I'm trying to say. Warner Brothers as a company has made fans disagree where it shouldn't be me and you disagreeing. It should be fans and the above people. And that's what I'm saying. It's kind of a manipulation of your own fans. And I just don't think they're just not good people. Like, they're just not good people.
They definitely turn the fans on each other for sure.
And it shouldn't be about that. It shouldn't, like you say, it could be like a TV show. HBO is one, and they've got a massive budget to do it, and the other one is the big screen, and it's this guy. Everyone's happy. I will go to both because I want to see both. Everyone's happy. Like, what's the problem? Like,
what's the problem with that? Yeah,
everyone makes money. Like, everyone's happy.
Aaron White says most people in Hollywood have no souls or sold their souls. Yes, Aaron, I agree with you 100%. Gentlemen, I'm going to end on that because I got to get to my next gig here in just less than an hour now. Again, thank you guys so much. And Ramon, we should do an entire, like, let's just vent about Snyder Cut. Like,
I thought you was gonna go. I thought you was gonna just drop another bomb on me. Do you know they're making this movie?
and I'll leave you with this. They're doing the remake of E.T. So not really. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Seth, so much. Everyone, Seth Draven, my son, my man in the chair, always collecting the news stories. Ramon, my buddy from across the pond. Ramon, let everyone know where they can find you, sir.
Hit or Miss TV, hashtag Hit or Miss TV. Find me on all the social platforms. I'll be on YouTube Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
All right, score. And the link to his channel is in the description below. And let me get my God, I'm not even ready to get off here. All right. Well, have a good one, guys, and we'll see you all next week.
See you.